We're Matt and Shantel Mason, and I've been coming to Grace Life since about 2012, and Shantel started coming to Grace Life around 2005 to 2006. I grew up here in Christiansburg, Virginia.
And I grew up somewhat in Charlottesville and then moved to Grundy, Virginia about third grade. It's kind of leading up to that move. It was more of an unstable environment, a lot of sexual abuse, neglect, physical, emotional, just a lot of abuse. And then when I moved to Grundy, I was living with my great-grandmother, and it was a good environment, loving home, but as you can imagine, a child dealing with all the trauma and trying to process all of that, and just not being able to understand things. So it was just hard growing up. When I first started going to Main Street, and I remember meeting a lot of different families, and one of the families that really stuck out was Harry and Heather. And I remember them having in a home that was open, that I could stop by whenever I wanted, and I'm sure it wasn't always wanted, but they still let me come in and hang out, and they loved on me and let me eat all their food. And they just I'll just never forget, they never turned me away. It was no matter when I showed up, if I showed up and had been doing things I shouldn't, it wasn't like, hey, you can't be here. It was, hey, what you're doing is wrong, but we still love you, and we want you to still be here. I come from a life of being so unstable, and knowing that, looking back now, I can see how God was always there, and, I may have felt alone, but I was never alone in that. And knowing that one day we'll get to be with Jesus and see him face to face. And for me, knowing this endless inheritance that we have is so comforting. Our heart is, for Eliza to come to know the Lord, and, to share that with others as well, and for our family to be set apart. I pray that often.
As we try to have those conversations with Eliza, as she grows up, how, we're adopted, by God and everything. It kind of gives a good picture and example that's easy for her to see, in her own mom's life.